T-minus 1 minute and counting. Three, two, one.
From Garmin in Olathe, Kansas, welcome to The Flyer Show.
Hello and welcome to The Flyer Show. In this week's show, we have got a new trainer that was once old. We've got a young pilot who flies old stuff, who won an old race. And Dave's talking about a perv calculator or something like that. Plus, we got three big wins from the CEA's licensing simplification. And then in what caught your eye, you'll see stuff that caught our eye, funnily enough.
Importantly, you're Ian Seeger, I'm Ed Hicks, and that's Dave Calderwood.
That is very true. That is very true. Right, what is it? It's time to say thank you very much to SkyDemon. Thank you, SkyDemon, for supporting this. Here is this week's top tip.
Hi, I'm Rob from SkyDemon, and here's another top tip.
While you're flying with SkyDemon, editing the route is locked, but you can unlock it to do the rubber banding feature by giving a leg a quick tap, bringing up a little label. While that's on the leg, you get one free rubber band, and then the route is locked in place again. To do it again, tap the leg again. You can do this as many times as you like.
For more information, check out our website, www.skydemon.aero.
There you go, that's an oldie but a goodie. I have to say, it's one I've managed to learn over the years, but at first it was like,
Why doesn't this move?
How do I rub it? Why doesn't it move? Yeah. Press harder. You know, pressing harder on your iPad makes no difference whatsoever. Who knew? Who knew?
Yeah, weather. It's a bit wet and horrible outside at the moment. So
just grey, isn't it?
It's I'm hoping that Simon's got some better weather for us.
Come on, Simon, dig deep.
Evening all. Hope that you're well this evening and getting ready for quite a breezy weekend ahead. Again, I'm going to use the icon model, which shows us predicted, effectively, rainfall radar and isobars and cloud. Where you see the dark colours on these charts is where we've got little cloud. Where you see the white colours is where we've got cloud. So it's a bit like looking at the satellite picture as well. So this is the forecast for tomorrow morning, Friday morning. Notice this area of rain down towards the southwest, some showers getting into western Scotland, further clutch of showers into southern parts of England, dry through central and eastern areas of England, northern areas too, and across the north and the east of Scotland. However, those areas of showers sweeping their way northeastwards through the course of the morning and into the afternoon. And the southwesterly winds picking up as well. So all in all, not a great day. It's a local flying day, really, I think, across many areas of England and Wales, and probably becoming wetter for southern parts of Scotland, eastern Scotland, faring better across northwest Scotland. But generally, as you can see there, it's a right old mess. The winds coming in from the south of southwest, probably looking at 25, gusting 35 knots, particularly in the west and the south, and those winds picking up as we go through the course of the afternoon. Now on to Saturday, an area of rain across many central and eastern areas of England at first on Saturday morning, affecting western Scotland as well. And you see, even by 9 o'clock on Saturday morning, that rain is still across much of England and Wales. Further area of rain affecting western Scotland. Eastern Scotland may be more showery. Ireland is looking better as well, but for many of us, not a great start to Saturday morning. However, that rain then clears into the North Sea. We find some showers following in behind, and actually by the afternoon, it's a much, much better position. Ridge of high pressure is building in. Look, you can see that N shape there in the isobars. That's the ridge. That's what's killing off those showers. So the afternoon on Saturday is looking much better. I think generally many areas go VFR. Base is about 3,000 feet, tops at about 12 to 15,000 feet, although some hefty showers, northern Scotland, western Scotland, perhaps southern coasts of Wales and Western Ireland, they're still remaining, and a few heavy ones as well going through the channel, but lighter winds on Saturday afternoon too. Now, overnight into Sunday, further area of rain is going to be moving its way eastwards, and during Sunday morning, that clears away from eastern coasts. We then get another area of rain that follows into the west of Scotland. Elsewhere, though, generally drier, brighter as well, but even into the afternoon, heavy showers across many central and western parts of Scotland. Windy there too, with more rain getting into the west of Ireland by sunset. Just a few showers affecting western coast of England and western parts of Wales, but other parts of England, as you can see here, generally are drier. Still breezy, particularly southern areas of Scotland, but not a bad Sunday afternoon. Now, a lot of this is going to be timing critical. The jet stream is close by. It's driving things through really very, very quickly. So keep your eye on the forecast for any changes in these timings. But I do think there's some flying to be found. We just have to be clever on the time of day that we do go flying. Now, those of you that have already been to Aviation Weather School have a nice little toolbox to be using now to make your own decisions as to when the times are going to be best to fly for you on Saturday and Sunday. If you've not been to Aviation Weather School Part 1, then now is your chance. I've got a single place left on my classroom-based course. It was full, but somebody's moved around. So that place is available if you want it now. You can go to weatherschool.co.uk and book that place now. I'll show you how to plan 5 days in advance, spot weather windows. I'll get you flying more, I'll get you flying more safely, and I'll boost your weather confidence. If you prefer, then you can come along to my online course, which has just been announced. This is going to take place on the Tuesday evenings of the 2nd and the 9th of December between 6:30 p.m. and 9 p.m. That's already getting booked up. So if you want to come on that one as well, you can go and book your place at Weather School now. All you do, go to weatherschool.co.uk and click on the aviation link, and it's all there. That's all that you need to do. You've got the live online course and you've got the live classroom-based course. Just click on the one that you want, and yeah, you can come to Weather School. Okay, I will leave you with that for now. Whatever you do, have a safe flying weekend. Sorry this took so long. I'll catch you next week. Bye for now.
Okay, must be time for some news. Who's up first? Is it me?
Okay, hop along.
It is me. Oh, this is the old trainer that's become new again. So this is news that Diamond have announced that the DA20i, the Katana, the thing we used to call the Katana, is starting to be manufactured again in Europe at Wiener Neustadt. It was manufactured before. We flew it back in 2015, and back in the mid to late 90s, I even flew something called a Speed Katana, which, if I remember rightly, had a 914 turbocharged Rotax
that really is a blast.
and some funky graphics down the side to denote Speed Katana. But anyway, this one's back. It's powered by the 100 horsepower 912 IS, which to my mind is the sweet spot of the Rotax engine range in that kind of power area. It's got a Garmin G500 TXI screen. It's going to be I think it's a really nice bit of kit. The Katana is lovely. Its one weakness, I would say, is it's not a short field aeroplane.
No.
Ask me how I know that. It's definitely not a short field aeroplane if you forget to put the carb heat back to cold.
Okay.
But this one won't have a carb heat, so you don't need to worry because it'll be fuel injected. However, spectacular little trainer aeroplane, I reckon. Really good. Really, really nice wing. All Diamonds have got really nice wings, and this one's no exception.
Yes, true. I have an exception with the DA20i.
Do you?
Yes. It sounds like a 80s saloon car. It's like, I drive a DA20i.
Yeah. Turbo. Yeah, but no, actually, I think it's going to be a cracker. I think it's really good. Yeah, that would be. I think it's great news. Well done, Diamond.
I wonder why all of a sudden has someone walked into Diamond, looked into a corner of a hangar, and gone, "What are we doing with that?"
I think the flight training industry worldwide is really busy at the moment.
Yeah.
There are a whole load of changes to the Mosaic plus the simplification stuff over here, where it means that you can use some other basic training kind of thing. Everyone's looking to reduce costs because learning to fly, particularly learning to fly professionally, is fearsomely expensive. And so this is a good entry-level trainer. And I mean, I've been saying it, and I'm sure you've been saying it, and I'm sure you've been saying it ever since like 1994 when we first started. The old fleet's getting old; it's going to need replacing soon. Clearly, it just goes on and on and on and on.
Yeah.
There's never really, you know, in the old days when people used to run magazines, is this the new Cessna 152?
No.
That's a front cover that must have been done about 100 times in the history of aviation publishing. And I wouldn't use it again, ever. But the DA20i, I reckon, is pretty damn close.
Do we know how much it's going to be?
No.
It's a Diamond product. We never know how much
Yeah,
Diamond products are going to be.
Diamond are one of those manufacturers that go, how much is it? Would you like another Kaiserkreiner? Which Kaiserkreiner is like sausage with cheese in that's barbecued.
Weird.
From Austria.
Very strange.
There's also the fact that Diamond pride themselves on offering a complete training solution. And of course, at the moment, they haven't been offering a two-seater in Europe.
True.
No, and I guess they were. I mean, their basic single-engine trainer had really been the DA40.
Yeah.
And the DA40 NG with their diesel engine. But this is a much lower cost, I'm sure, lighter, and it's a nice aeroplane. It is a nice aeroplane to fly.
I guess but they're probably looking at Technam going, we're going to have some of that, aren't we?
I was going to say Technam. I mean, there was an announcement by Technam actually this week about we welcome a Mosaic. We're going to lead this sector of the whole industry because they're pretty strong in that area. Yeah, their background is obviously a lot strong ultralight microlight background at Technam. Yeah. So yeah, absolutely. Wow. And neither Piper and Cessna, their base level products are a three-seater in the case of Piper with the Cadet. Yeah. But otherwise four-seaters. Yeah.
Makes you wonder. It does make you wonder whether Piper. Well, I can't imagine Cessna are doing it, but Piper. I wonder whether Piper are going. I wonder whether we can make something with a Rotax.
I think Piper and Cessna have got such a good, strong home market amongst the US flight training schools and the US universities also do a lot of flight training. Yet they don't necessarily need to try too hard outside of the US.
I guess so.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I think I'd be surprised if Piper or Cessna came out with a two-seat aircraft. What was that? The Skycatcher was Cessna's last stab at that market.
The Skycatcher, it's like we have this perfect product for the LSA market, and for a short time they didn't they? Because they had hundreds of orders. And
they had a whole load of orders. They stuck a Continental in it because of like good old boys.
Yeah, because it was going to be Rotax.
It was going to be Rotax, which would have been a result. Yeah. But they stuck the Continental in. Nothing wrong with the Continental, but it's heavy. Yeah. And so the Skycatcher had quite limited load. Yeah. And it had that kind of weird yoke as a stick.
Side yokey stick.
It's a bit like soap on a rope kind of thing. But yeah, no, I can't see Piper or no. I'd eat my plug if either of them do that.
You heard it here first.
Anyway, what else is there in the news?
Well, do you want some air racing news? Some UK air racing news, to be precise.
Yes.
Well, in that case, the final race of the UK Triple RA season took place at Wellesbourne in early October. That was for the running of the Stewards Cup and for the King's Cup. And squadron leader Ben Polwin and his wife Sophie won that race, flying their RV7 that they built at home. And apparently the championship went right down to the very last second of the final race. So exciting stuff. And this is handicap air racing, so you can take part in this. You can be in a slow aeroplane and you've got as much chance as Ben in his RV7. Allegedly. If they've done
you have to do 100 knots or 100 miles an hour, isn't it?
Yes. So the slowest aeroplane so this season, the slowest aeroplane has been the good old Luscombe. And I think Ben's RV7 was the fastest aeroplane. And that meant, in terms of starting order, I think it was 27 minutes. So the Luscombe goes, and then you sit there for 27 minutes twiddling your thumbs.
Assuming the Luscombe's cleared the runway already, you can then
exactly,
take off.
And then if all the handicapping's been done correctly, then you all arrive at the finish line at the same time. Ben and Sophie, they're retiring from racing on a high this season because they've done the Triple Crown. Last year they won the Schneider Trophy. This year they've got the King's Cup and the Stewards Cup. And that's a good time to go out. And plus, Ben is he's just about to become the new operations officer for the Battle of Britain Memorial Flight. And if you want to know more about the 3R, what they call the 3Rs air racing, you go and check out their website. We'll find it and stick it in the video description.
Yes.
But worth it, because air racing, it's another exciting thing to do with your aeroplane.
Yeah. So we should really have Annabelle here to do this item. It's about GASCO, the General Aviation Safety Council. They've introduced a new it's performance. It's
Performance.
not perf.
PERF.
Performance calculator. It's free. It's available online. It's created by a chap called John Cook, who's kind of like the licensing guru. And John said, you pop in the figures from your pilot operations handbook. This is online. And you put in whatever correction factor is out of the CAA's safety sense leaflets. So, and then it gives you what the corrected figure is. So, as an example, if your normal takeoff roll is, say, 250 meters on a dry, hard, paved runway, but you're going to be taking off from wet grass, typical as is here today, then that 250 meters will become 432 meters. And you can do the same for different types of surfaces, different conditions, and also for the landing roll as well. So it's a really straightforward thing. It's a performance calculator.
I think I was going to say I don't have any data to back this up, but my guess is that there are, over the years, I've noticed more landing accidents where aircraft have kind of ended up going through the hedge a little bit too fast at the end because they didn't quite land. Than takeoff accidents. There have been a few spectacular takeoff accidents.
Well, I guess takeoff, when you take off, it's fairly easy to make sure you've taxied to the
threshold.
To the threshold. Landing, though, unless you've nailed your kind of landing, your technique, it is very easy to not touch down where you wanted to touch down, and all of a sudden there's some runway behind you, isn't it?
Yeah. Occasionally you see airplane, they come in and go, it looks quite fast, and you go, that's runway he's not going to use, runway he's not going to use, runway he's not going to use, runway,
You get that pilot feeling. It's like, I'm just reaching for it, but I can't get there.
Yeah, absolutely. So,
okay.
Excellent.
Good to know.
Yeah. Not a huge amount of news this time of year.
No.
There's a few things like, because there's some bursaries available from the Royal Aero Club Trust, which are quite good, most aimed at young people.
Okay.
Encourage them to do any types of flying.
And actually, thinking of that, I know that the Light Aircraft Association, their Armstrong Isaacs flying bursaries, they're going to be going live very shortly too.
Right.
So for next year.
There's a whole bunch of scholarships and bursaries coming up over the winter.
Okay.
So Air League and people like that. Yeah.
Good.
Yeah.
Excellent. Right. What's next then?
It's the main feature.
The main feature.
Yes.
So the main feature is about all the rule changes that happened on October the 1st. The CEA, if you remember, I can't remember when they first did it, maybe a couple of years ago now, started consulting. And so they went, do you think licensing's too complicated? Duh.
Yes.
Yeah, of course, nobody understands it. And still nobody fully understands it. So they came out with the simplification project, which is in a couple of tranches. We've had tranche 1, and the rules became implemented on October the 1st.
Yeah.
So this is about the 3 big wins. There's actually a bonus 4th. So, I think it's a bonus 4th. So have a look. Keep watching for that. But this is about the 3 big wins that we think that you can spot from the CA simplification process, tranche number 1.
Yeah.
And that's me. And if you watched, and you may cast your mind back to when the previous CEO of the British Microlight Association was with us, Rob Hughes, and he was talking very excitedly about the fact that the licensing changes were coming. And this was for good reason, because there was going to be a really big win for microlighting. And this is basically that there's going to be flexible crediting of dual training hours towards gaining a PPL. And the big winner here is that actually you'll be able to use flight time accumulated in 3-axis microlights towards your PPL. So without question, big win for microlights. Train on a 3-axis microlight. And thanks to the changes in the 600 kg category as well, there's a whole host of exciting new trainers that customers and flight schools must be excited about being able to use. Mm-hmm. Your dual 3-axis microlight experience will count towards your ICAO PPL. And that's big news for any young person looking to ultimately become a commercial pilot.
Absolutely.
Because that means you can start, I think it's fair to say, I don't think any of us probably ever imagined that you could start a commercial pilot training journey and start it at microlight.
No.
So, but that is as for the most affordable form of flying, that has got to be a massive deal.
I think it's a great opportunity. I mean, I think it's important to say that the big wins are wins for people the wins are more there for people coming in
Yes.
than for people who have kind of like done tons and tons of training already.
However,
No, there are. No, absolutely.
Yeah.
We'll come back to that, I'm sure. But there are some really significant wins in there. So
Yeah.
good
yeah.
news.
The other thing I noticed is microlight ground exams are also now recognised.
That's my bit.
Okay. Well, you can have that.
I'll
then.
have that big win. Thank you.
You can have that. Okay.
Wait for that.
Well, one of the big wins that applies to existing pilots, and I think this is a really big one, is that you can renew your SEP rating, your single engine piston rating, on a 3-axis microlight.
Yep.
So if you want to fly a Cessna 172, but you're faced with, say, you've had a break from flying, and you recognise you're probably going to need some training with an instructor before you can even do the license proficiency check flight. You can now do that on a 3-axis microlight. Now, there's obviously the big thing here is cost. A 3-axis microlight typically is costing between 160 and 180 quid per hour, including instructor, and that usually includes landings as well. Whereas if you're looking at something like a PA-28 or Cessna 172 operating with a bigger flight school, that's between 260 and 300 quid an hour, and often, because if you're at a bigger airfield, the landings are on top.
Yeah.
So it works out quite a lot more expensive to go to one of those flight schools. It may be your choice, but that's it. The other things about that's in the same subject, airfield, you're much more likely to be operating from a grass strip on a microlight school, and there's all sorts of easy cost savings there. But also, I think when you're returning to flying, you haven't flown for a while, you really just want to get up there flying. You don't want to have to worry too much about procedures and use of radio. That can come later. But first of all, you just want to go flying. And if you're flying from a grass airfield, it's all a lot easier. The third point I'd like to make in this same bit is aircraft choice. If you go to a typical flight school, I'm not knocking flight schools. They're using the aircraft they know and love, but you're probably going to be in a 40 to 50-year-old PA-28 or an ancient Cessna 172 or possibly a 152, whereas you go to a microlight school, you're probably looking at a 5 to 10-year-old Icarus C-42 or a Eurostar or any of the brand new ones that are coming through.
Yeah.
And which would you rather have, some old 50-year-old aircraft or something that's more or less new?
So my top tip, relating to the stuff that you've spoken about and a little bit that you spoke about as well, is obviously if you've got an ICAO PPL, which many of us have, you need to do that instructor hour.
Yeah.
And that instructor hour, as we've already established, can be on a 3-axis microlight. No problem there. What I'm going to suggest is that, because every time I do my instructor hour, I try and do some, from time to time, I try and do something a little bit different. I've done an instructor hour in a Tiger Moth, for example. Yeah. Because why not?
Why not?
You can go and do your microlight differences training. It might not take you that long. Yeah. You can claim that time for your instructor hour and probably a bit more, because you probably won't get it done in an hour. But you've then got microlight differences training signed off. Yeah. And you're good to go. So it opens that kind of spectrum to other stuff.
Yeah. I do like the idea of making revalidation simpler, though.
Yeah.
So...
Yeah. I mean, it takes a ton of effort to get a license, as we all
know. It does, yeah.
And then it's quite easy for it to lapse and go away.
Yeah.
And you really want to make it as easy as possible and as pleasurable as possible for people to get back in. Nobody, if you've been a top racing cyclist or something, and then you for whatever reason you haven't done it for years, no one wants to go back and go, oh, now I'm going to be rubbish again. And it's that feeling, I used to be on my flying.
Yeah.
I don't want to go. Inevitably you do have to go back, but you want to make that as pleasurable and as easy and as barrier free as possible.
Yeah.
So my big win, if you're ready for it, is the fact, and initially it doesn't necessarily sound like a big win, because the LAPL, Light Aircraft Pilot's License, is no more. It's gone. That's it. History. There is only one sub-ICAO license in the UK now, the NPPL.
Right.
And the NPPL comes in 3 different flavours. It comes in what they now call the Touring Motor Glider flavour, the Microlight flavour, and the SEP flavour. And it used to be the SSE. Was it simple single engine aircraft? It was always I always found that a bit difficult. But forget that. That's gone. It's SEP now. And so that is the beginning of your national route. Now the good thing is, if you learn to fly microlights, there you go. You got your NPPL microlight. You think, I quite fancy a bit of an SEP. Instead of having a general flight test and all the rest of it, now you just have to do differences training. and the difference is training is assessed by the trainers.
Yeah.
You still have to make the application to get it put on your license. It's not like a logbook sign-off. And the same goes for TMG and all the rest of it. Plus, your revalidation, instead of having to revalidate in all 3 categories, you revalidate in one of those categories, and that now covers all of the categories. So it is genuinely simplified and genuinely easier than it was before, and more accessible than it was before.
Why does a touring motor glider have to have a separate rating?
They always have done, because they're like they're different, a little bit different.
Is that because you switch the engine off at some point? So?
That's potentially because you switch the engine off. A lot of touring motor gliders have. So if you take the Grob,
Yeah.
and stuff like that, they have air brakes.
Yeah.
You know, if you haven't flown air brakes before, that's something quite a bit different. They're not just flaps that pop out the top of the wing,
Yeah.
kind of thing. And so, probably I would suggest that your first move from an SEP Cessna 172 to a touring motor glider, probably best doing a little bit more than reading the POH. I'll just pop these out and see
I
what
can do that, yeah.
because they are quite different. And then there are other differences as well. And that now covers SLMG self-launching motor gliders and stuff as well.
Right.
So that's all pretty damn good, I would say.
What's the bonus item then?
The bonus item is that the CA will deny this. I'm sorry, CA, but you'll say no. We've always supported GPS and stuff like that, and you have of late. But it's not true that you've always done it. There was a time when it was the work of the devil. There was a time when you loved Halloween because you could all prance around Aviation House going like, look at my GPS, rah, and stuff like that.
Be taking some drugs.
I don't know. I worry that this is it's not worn off from the operation.
No.
But I should say that so now there's a couple of changes to the syllabus that have really signalled what I consider progressive and good improvement. Say it right. So you've got the partial power training, and partial power has been a few accidents where you go, partial power. Because not everyone has an explosive engine failure. Oh, I've got no engine left and it's all departed out the side.
Yeah.
You
It's
can
like,
have,
oh,
and that's where it's tempting to go, I'll probably still be okay.
It still runs. Shall I try and get back
Shall I
home?
try? Yeah, and so that's a different thing. And then the other thing is finally, there's training. I think, what do they call them? VFR navigation aids or moving map VFR tablets or something. And I know that the CA still go, you should only use official sources for this data, which I think is rubbish.
Yeah.
But anyway, that's a different argument. But there is now training on it, which is really good, because otherwise it's just kind of train yourself. And there are, there's some brilliant apps out there. There's some less brilliant apps out there. They've all got their, I don't want to say foibles, I don't want to say peculiarities, but they all have different philosophies about the way they do things. And you need to get the most out of them. You need to understand it. So now, finally, that's going to be included in the training and the testing. So if you need something to be trained, you need to include it in the testing.
Yeah, and I think, airspace is a lot more complex and challenging today. So everyone should be committed to reducing infringement. So surely that starts with training and going, hey, let's roll the use of this technology into your absolute basic PPL training.
Yeah. So what I would say is, if you want any more details on any of this stuff, the BMAA have a really good couple of pages on their website that do it. The CEA have done some good videos,
really good,
which are good. There's some more documentation to come from the CEA, which is a little bit of devil in the detail type stuff. Well, hopefully it won't be a devil, angels in the detail, shall we say? And then, of course, at the moment they're working slowly on tranche 2, which will bring even more things hopefully next year. Generally, I'd say pretty good news. I mean, it's not as simple as it could be.
No,
but it's a big step.
Yeah.
Do you think this merits the? This is why the CAA is brilliant.
This is why the CA is trying really hard and have achieved some good things, and that occasionally they have a little accident.
But overall,
yeah. Overall, I'd give them.
That's little accidents, as in 2-year-olds type accidents.
Yes, that kind of accident. Yeah. We've all been there.
Yeah. So, club news.
Club news.
Yes. Haven't
Okay.
got free landings for November yet.
We have.
I think there are 3 available, and that's Wolverhampton,
There's 4.
Halfpenny Green. Do you know what the 4th one is?
Don't know. Tell me the other 2.
Esshot and Dunk as well.
And Easter.
And Easter, of course.
Right.
There we go.
Easter.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, David. I haven't made it to Easter, and I'm not going to make it this year. At least not by airplane.
But that is that's a massive geographical
And
spread.
it's like, if you look at it on the map,
Yeah.
as Henry, cue the map now.
Yeah.
There you go. This map. Look at that. Perfect. What more could you want?
We put the challenge out. Can you do all the free landings
In a month?
October? I don't think we've had someone claim.
Well, we haven't yet.
Those.
And obviously, this time of year,
It's
a
even
little
more
bit harder.
challenging.
But if you do, let us know. Buy your lunch at Wadswick.
There we go. Yeah.
Webinars.
Webinars. I had a brilliant webinar last night. What was it again?
Oh,
Can't remember.
snappers.
Snapper. That was it. Ed did a fantastic webinar last night on air-to-air photography. So go look at that up if you're a member. If you're not a member, sorry.
Yep.
And there's a whole bunch of other stuff. You get access to all of the things that we write. You get full access to the forums and everything else. So it costs you just £6 a month. So come on.
So, big question of the week, and that is, what caught your eye?
Yeah.
And I think it might be me first.
It is you first.
Yeah, and this is an aeroplane that popped up on Facebook as it's been rescued from corroding away outdoors up in Canada, I think. And it's headed for a new life in the Mid-America Flight Museum in Texas. And when I say eye-catching, it is literally eye-catching, as in it is all corners, as the Evangel 4500 was designed using only a ruler and a set square, all in the quest of being robust and utterly practical. One flight reviewer once described the aircraft as having the grace and lines of a toolbox.
I think that's pretty accurate. I mean, I think if you look at it, Henry, put it back on screen now, if you can. If you look at it, it's got Jodel wings because they're kind of cranked.
Yeah.
It's got a very Pilatus empennage, although there's quite a lot of...
I think Pilatus...
the tail, the PC... I'm talking about PC6.
Oh, yeah, PC6 border. For a moment there, I thought it's like, hang on there, Pilatus lawyers, don't write to Ian.
Put your pens away, put your pens down.
Yeah.
No, the Pilatus tail
Yes.
looks very much like a PC6 tail.
Yeah.
Well, there's quite a lot of dihedral on the tailplane.
Yeah, tailplane too.
And then if you look at the fuselage and you squint your eyes a little bit, it's kind of square enough to be an Islander, straight Trilander.
Oh, no, I think the Evangel 4500 makes an Islander look like a Falco.
Islander lawyers, get your pens out.
That's
I think you took the Evangel and just like rounded it a bit.
Yeah. So anyway, this design was conceived in the mid-1960s by missionary bush pilot Carl Mortensen. He wanted an aeroplane that could carry a ton of cargo while safely operating out of South American jungle airstrips. Simple and overbuilt for sure. Boxy fuselage seats 8 people. Powers from 2 300 horsepower Lycoming IO540s. Useful load, 1,200 pounds. Apparently, if you juggle with fuel, 1,500 pounds is what you can load in it. I saw someone online recently describe the engine. You look at those engine nacelles. Someone said it's like someone just took a locker and basically stuck that on the wing and went,
They
that'll
had one
do.
folding jig and it was 90 degrees.
This aeroplane is it's you wouldn't use the word pretty, but it is functional, and it really tweaks my heartstrings just for being so utterly functional. 7 were built, most rotted away in South America, but one survived. And that's the one that Mid-America Flight Museum has rescued. And they have form for taking stuff to Oshkosh. So I am really hoping that we see that next year.
That would be very, very cool.
Because it is, that would be, I know people will say, Ed, you've lost the plot. But I think this
No, I think it's, I mean, it's ugly, clearly. But
it's
really ugly. But it's kind of, a bit special as well. So I've got a quiz for you.
Yeah.
Can you name, how many other aircraft can you name that have been... what's the right word I'm thinking of? Spawned for their missionary purpose.
Well, there was another. The Evangel Aircraft Corporation came up with another aeroplane after the 4500. Weirdly, had some roundness in it and was a pusher.
Yes.
I forget.
Looks a little bit like a Baron, the AAC Angel.
Yes. Yeah. So there was that. Was the Helio? No, the Heliocura wasn't specifically for that purpose, was it?
Not really.
No.
It's a very modern one.
What was that?
The Quest Air Kodiak.
Kodiak, yes.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, because I mean, I don't know if it now they belong to DA. I don't know if it's true, but at one time when the Quest Air Kodiaks were being built, you can, if you kind of poke your head around and look inside and look under some of the green painted interior panels, there's like various workers that have sharpened verses and stuff from the Bible
Okay.
in there.
So that was designed specifically for
That was
that.
that was driven. That's a kind of missionary company.
Yes.
Okay.
And then one more,
Yeah.
and this is a kit. I'll give you a clue. It looks a little bit, to my eyes, looks a little bit like a Champ, 7AC Champ.
Oh. I can't imagine.
It's called a Christavian.
Really?
Yeah, really.
That was, so you're saying the Christavia.
Yes, Christ in Aviation is what it stands
Okay.
for.
Right.
And it was done by a Canadian guy originally.
Okay.
And it was supposed to be like a single engine steel tube fuselage simple aircraft that you could build and deliver the word of God to
I
wherever
didn't
you
know
wanted.
that.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
And he obviously got bored. he decided there were other things going on. So I think now you can still buy the plans from Aircraft Spruce for that.
Yeah, I believe so. Yeah. Yeah.
But
Yeah. So Evangel 4,500 designed with set squares.
yeah, absolutely.
Dave.
Well, I've picked Hurricane Melissa's going through, so I've picked the Hurricane Hunters, and there's been some fantastic footage come back from them this week, including this stuff shot, this little video we've got permission to use from the U.S. Air Force Reserves, a section known as the Hurricane Hunters, and they're flying a Lockheed Hercules C-130J. They went through turbulence so violent that it overstressed the airframe, and the crew had to abort the mission and return to base. That's not as easy as it sounds, because they're flying in the eye of the hurricane.
Well, I presume once you've flown in it, you have to fly back out of
Well,
it.
they had to circle for a while to look for a path that looked reasonably safe, not lightning strikes and even worse turbulence. Anyway, during this
Do you
flight,
think again, like, do you want the last sandwich before we go?
they were thrown hundreds of feet up and down in seconds, 700 feet of vertical motion in a single minute. And
that's
well, I think it might be a single second actually, rather than a minute. They found a central pressure of 893
Millibars.
millibars. That's it.
a no pressure
Hold
job.
on. These are clearly not in the UK. Otherwise, we'd be talking hectopascals.
Bananas.
And they found surface winds of 252 miles an hour apparently. So it's the crew also reported that the wall. These pictures are incredible because you actually see the wall inside the
It
eye.
looks a bit like some kind of Hollywood disaster movie.
Yeah, exactly.
Someone should probably use that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Get that footage.
Yeah.
Wow.
But so that has to be, and I don't know what the job requirements are for Hurricane Hunter pilot, but clearly lunatic.
You can't find another job.
I say that in the most respectful possible way.
We should try and find one of those and get them on.
Yes. Yeah.
Let's find ourselves a Hurricane Hunter pilot.
Yes. Are you a Hurricane Hunter? Call us.
Yeah.
Ian.
So I spotted the Evangel.
Yes.
12,500.
Yes.
So that sounds like another car, doesn't it?
It does.
Come from the MG Evangel 4,500. And I was kind of, I quite liked, but I kind of got wind of the fact that it caught your eye already, so I thought I'd leave that one to you.
Yep.
And I kind of wonder what there was in terms of contemporaries for the old Evangel and twins and stuff like that. So you'll remember the Helio Courier, not a twin, single engine, big old tail drag thing, got some spooky kind of crosswing gear.
Yeah.
You can do stuff. It's got leading edge slats, all sorts of stuff. There's only one in the UK of those, by the way, that I know of. And a really funky aeroplane that had amazing performance and that kind of gained notoriety for being part of Air America and various other dodgy bits and pieces that were going on. And then I also discovered that they also built, I think it was like 500 of those built. They built a turbo.
The Helio Stallion.
The Stallion.
Yes.
Yeah, absolutely.
Also sounds like a car.
The Helio Courier not got enough testosterone for you. We can get you the Stallion. Anyway, and I think they even built fewer of those. So that was less successful. But there was also the H500.
Wow.
The twin Helio. And the twin Helio was based on the Stallion,
Right.
a lot of the Stallion structure, but all of a sudden they turned it into a jokey airplane. So all gone very round, looks like it should be in a Disney cartoon. And two tail dragger, two Lycomings on top of each wing.
Right.
Not quite a la Honda, but kind of like sat on top of it to keep the props out of the stuff.
Out of the rocks.
It was first flew in 1960. It was certified somewhat strangely by the FAA on the basis of we certify this for its need in Vietnam, but and other places, but you have to promise you're never going to commercialize it.
Yes.
Sell it to anybody else.
Yeah.
And I guess they went, yeah, sure. But again, only seven of them built, none of which survive.
That's a shame
It's
because that is
and they
bonkers.
went to all sorts of dodgy CIA places. They like popped up in. You can occasionally find a few pictures. They've popped up in strange places that you go, what the hell was it doing there? Kind of thing like that. And it was a funky little airplane. It looked kind of a bit weird. 1,600 feet a minute climb,
Right.
700 nautical mile range, 160 knots. So it was quite a good little
160 knots.
160 knots. Yeah,
Wow.
yeah. So I don't think they were worried about economy. They were, just get out of here quick before they come and get us. And it was it was at the time when people were building. Piper went from the Cherokee 6 effectively to the Seneca,
Right.
and Cessna sort of went from the 210 to 337-ish type thing.
Okay.
And so
But Helio were like, hold my beer.
Well, the twin thing was a bit of a thing, is what I mean. It's a bit, and so Helio went for this and I guess they thought they were going to sell a whole load of more to CA type funny operations going on.
There's probably the only thing I can think of that's weirder than your Helio, and I can't remember the model type, but do you remember when we were in the Dornier Museum
Yes.
last year, we saw it was a twin pusher Dornier for Stoll with vectoring.
That's it.
Vectoring thrust.
Vectoring exhaust almost, or something, wasn't it?
Oh, no, vectoring
Or
pusher
engines
props.
or
Yeah.
something. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, like universal joints.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that was a weird thing.
And an ejector seat.
Yeah, I kind of guessing that the pilots of those things and the pilots of the Helio
H500
twin courier
Yeah.
were probably not operating in friendly skies.
Do you think?
Yeah, I
Yeah.
think. But I just thought it was kind
I
of
like
funky,
that. It's
funky
good.
thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
And hopefully there should be a little bit of video that once appeared bizarrely as in a cameo role in a French film with Jean-Paul Belmondo, who was just like smoking coolly, just in case you haven't seen the video.
Look at you with your film reference.
I know.
That's a rare occurrence.
It is. But anyway, there you go. That's what caught my eye.
Very good. Well, if any of those, if one of those is your favourite, tell us in the comments. Otherwise, if something has caught your eye, tell us about it in the comments too.
Events.
Yes,
right. Well, it's come to a very quiet time of year, but this weekend there's Pilot Careers Live in London. That's on Saturday the 1st.
Be there. With
We'll be there. I'll be there as
mobile.
well. Yep. On the following day, on Sunday, 2nd November, there's a pumpkin flying at Fenland Airfield. And next Wednesday, the 5th of November, is the fireworks flying at Slape.
I'm guessing if you fly in at night, then you're going to
Don't.
need a night rating to fly back out after the fireworks.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's that time of the year. I mean, everyone starts
Clocks
thinking about
change.
night ratings.
Do your
Clocks
night
change,
rating.
Do your night rating.
Yeah.
Get your night hours up.
Yeah.
Find an airfield that's open. Anyway, good. So thank you very much for watching. Have a great weekend. Before I go, I'm going to ask you, if you've got a chance, stand in front of an airplane, hold your camera like that and shoot yourself going, hello from blah, 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 welcome to the Flyer Show, kind of thing. Send us that in 4K
Absolutely.
if you got it, but
Yep.
otherwise, no problem. And that would be good. And don't forget, join the Fly Club, like, comment, subscribe, all the rest of it. Fly safe. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye. Yeah, weather. It's a bit wet. It's weather.
Join the Flyer Club today and save hundreds of pounds with your free landing vouchers. Watch insightful monthly webinars from our group of aviation experts and access all the online content on flyer.co.uk. From just £6 per month or £62 for the full year. You can meet new people, fly more and become a better pilot. Join today at flyer.co.uk/membership.